Hello and welcome back to the next episode. Last time we lost at the end of the episode, we lost our Jupiter fleet. So no conquest of Jupiter anytime soon. And as promised, I was thinking about how we want to proceed here. And actually we are going to finish the ships of the line here. Also we are going to delay molecular beneficiation in favor of getting the coil cannon unlocked, which is the nose-mounted coil cannon that we want to have on our ships of the line, on the Lancers. And then afterwards we can investigate a ship design from this, how it might look like, and if we can actually make that work with the Helican drive, if it's possible. I'm not sure if it's possible. And from there we can maybe plan forward how we can go to Jupiter anytime soon. And also we want to push towards phasers, but that's still a while away. Also any fusion drives or antimatter drives are far away. So in general we have to focus on science, which means that Great Europe is on the agenda as well. And we need to consolidate our control points here in regards to science, which means that we either have to actually really hard break into the United States of America here. Actually, therefore, no, they didn't do the project yet. So that's something we somehow have to accomplish. It's still not anywhere close, and we don't have a command guy to actually do a coup d'etat, but also the unrest is way too low for this. I'm not sure if we can make it work. Because also the United States would be another almost 200 control points. We don't have that much. So if you look at the summary here, we have 250 in the European Union. If we combine them, that will be like 330 probably. Something we want to do. But yeah, we do have a problem. We could also just focus on expanding the Caliphate here. Because there's the two projects we could do. I don't know which one is the second one, but the last one is House of Islam. So to just expand this one instead of focusing on the US. However, the problem is if the aliens actually land on Earth, they will of course unite with the servants, but we can still nuke the aliens out of existence if it happens. So we really have to see how this will develop. But for example, if the aliens land here in the US, and that would be a problem. Yeah. But I hope that we can shoot down that invasion fleet and that it will let us, but I don't know how it will work in detail at the end. So until then, we have to, for example, make sure that we do not lose control of the Caliphate here. Public opinion is decaying. Yeah. Ooh. It's not gonna be easy here to continue, basically. Yeah, the biggest problem will be science and mission control. So ring hubs are also a priority to get the command centers, which will allow us to finally get to proper MC counts combined with the nano. I'm not sure how the upgrade of the nano factories is called, but combined with them. So we can rebuild a lot of our stations around Mars in this direction. Also the ground station of Mars, for which we would, however, need the Ring Colony project, which is not priority right now. Hopefully we can keep control of Mercury here. However, overall, the next episodes will be a bit more time consuming, which is problematic for myself because I want to publish once per day. And I'm struggling to keep up because the episodes are getting very time consuming with all the little fights we have to do because the auto-resolve is not working as expected. But also, it's just a lot of stuff to do now. And it's very careful balancing of things, what we actually need to do and how we can do it, because we really need to get rid of most of our small countries here because it's getting impossible to keep everything under control. Just due to the fact that the others are playing against us now because we're at war. I mean, so basically if you check our relations here, I'm sure everybody is at war with us now. Yeah. Because in the end, if we look at resources, we are just leading by a lot. So humanity first is basically gone, which is problematic, but fine. And resistance is barely existing. They are getting taken down by the Protectorate and the service constantly. Yeah, and servants are an issue here. And I'm not sure how we need to break the US, and then we maybe can get rid of the servants properly. But yeah, Exodus is decently well. Protectorate asset is fine with us. And Academy we don't really care about, but not all really great here. I mean, we could try to fix relations to, for example, with the Academy here. But Protectorate is probably decent to improve on. Because they are, of course, in tolerance with the aliens here, so they are not getting hurt by them. But they are also probably... They might be flipping territory to the alien nation if it exists, so that's a problem. Yeah, and the Pan-Asian Combine is getting expanded constantly. Which is also problematic because most likely... I'm not sure what the win condition for the initiative is, but... The thing is that... If we, for example, need to take control of 50% of Earth, I don't know if that's the goal, but probably something like this, either be it population or be it control points, we would be very, very far away from this. And that's basically the issue here. I mean, we own like 9% of public opinion, and... I don't know, is there somewhere set how much population we own? So Earth at 8.7 billion. And we own like... Probably not even one. Yeah, close to 1 billion, so 1/8. So we are very far away. Of course, we can expand the caliphate into northern parts of India here. That would be something. So we get like another 500 to 600 million here. To increase that to maybe 1 billion in the caliphate alone. Overall at the end. That's something, and that's probably the best goal we should go for in the near future. But it will not prevent us from probably having to take over all of India. Or the whole of the Pan-Asian Combine. Plus America. So we shouldn't forget about America here. We probably can ignore South America to a certain degree for the goals in the end. But, whew, this is gonna be rough if we have to do this. And we can't go to just militarily invade everything because they built like loads of army here. They have like 18 armies alone in China because they're annexing stuff like crazy left and right. And building even more stuff. I don't know why, but they do. And yeah, they will continue to expand here, mostly on the expense of, for example, here, the resistance, and so on. But yeah, we have to continue forward. We are going to do larger and larger time skips here because there's really not much to show. It's just mentioning everything we have currently and progressing in the tech tree. We will probably go over 10k in this episode, which is really nice. Because if we can get the merger done here, we will move 225 million into the European Union. This will boost up the science output significantly because of the Democracy 10 score. And we are knowledge-wise basically similar. So this will move pretty much more than 400 into the European Union. But more on that when we reach it. Well, here we are in February and something catastrophic has happened. And I don't have the report anymore. So basically there was a fleet attacking me on Mars, and I was like, okay, I have 30 ships, and the aliens have, I think, 11 or something. And I didn't record it, because I thought, yeah, it's like one of the battles we have been doing all the time already, and it took me a lot of time. And we lost almost everything. We have left 9 battleships here. Or rather, battle cruisers, and the flagship is still alive, yeah. And everything. So basically this one here. So we defeated an alien force here. It's still around, so there's still stuff left here. So this is bad, but yeah, basically we got out of the battle alive somehow, and I thought like, okay, I maybe did something wrong. So let's just do it again and record it, and maybe it's better then, and I have more ships left. And I did 4 attempts, and all were worse. In 3 of those of the 4 attempts, no, in 2 of these attempts of the 4 ones I did, I lost everything. And in the other 2, I got out with like 2 or 3 or 4 battleships or battle cruisers barely alive. I don't know what I did in the first one. Maybe it was sheer luck, but I'm going to take this one. And I don't have the battle for this. And it's annoying me so much. But basically we lost all of our escorts, all of the other stuff, and we do have a massive problem now. Because we lost most of our mass defense fleet, basically. I'm not sure what they are going to do, but we are going to our naval yard at any cost here, even though it costs us 2.5 days. And actually we need to... I think we lost a base here. That fleet, when it arrived... No, it started bombarding, so is there... Oh. Okay, I have to go through the bases and repair the one which they were bombarding, because I don't know... Oh, wait a second, we do have the information here, right? It's bombarding 3 material... 3 material? 3 material? Where are you? Do you even exist? 3 material? Ah, here. Is anything damaged here? No, then it was something else, and maybe it was a battle before when we lost something in one of the bases we have. Oh, this is super annoying because I wanted to show it, but, well. Now, what are the other news we have here currently? You should be supposed to... Ah, no, we don't have it yet. So, we took over the last control point here, and we already start to invade here. And... yeah, there we now got the control of this army. So now we can move it out here. Just to speed up the annexation process, basically. Yeah, mass defense is extremely weakened. And our next ships will be out in like 2 months, maybe. So let's go for Mars here. Yeah. Yeah, 50 days, 56 days. So it's still a while away, but... whew, I hope that we can hold Mars. It still will be a catastrophe. No. Yeah, but basically, to wrap up everything else, what has happened, so in between and what I have come up with, so... we transferred some territory into the European Union, and... now we have to work on our unity here, because also after the annexation of Ireland, this one went really down. So we have to work on this before we try the unification with the rest of the Union here. That's a while away, so Moscow is isolated here, but, well. Also, we are hunting an alien here, and I made some ship designs, actually. So, for the Jupiter stuff, I came up with some new designs, which are mostly based on coil guns. So, for example, we are building a coil gun Jupiter ship here, because this one will be able to fight multiple times. And the same basically for a unique ship, flagship, a new one in new colonizer class, which is not using rockets and missiles and so on. What I want to talk about is, however, is the Lancer. So I set up a Lancer with the Helicon drive, and as you can see here, the acceleration is terrible. And with a spinal siege coiler and everything, and some lasers here, it's extremely expensive, extremely slow, and I don't think that's a solution which we should build on Mars and then send to the belt or to Jupiter. That's not a good solution. So we really need to have the alternatives here. So Lancer will go away here. So instead we are going to use our Jupiter laser classes here and so on. And these ones will be the new ones we have to construct. However, now with the losses on Mars, we went down from 30 ships to 9. We lost 2 large ships. I think there were 2 missile cruisers that we lost to battleships, basically. Yeah, and 19 of our escorts. All of them, basically. It's terrible. It's super terrible. And I don't have a recording of this. This is annoying me super hard. Yeah, but well. Okay, we have to continue here, repair our fleet, and then see if the alien remnants are still around Mars and take them out. They are mostly out of weapons now. That's why they surrendered this battle, but... Whew, it's not cool. It's really not cool right now. This is... The campaign is on the very near the brink of going haywire here. So let's see if we can save it. Okay, we have reached a new milestone. We have reached ring course in April 2034, so very, very late compared to other campaigns. This also tells us that we are going to be probably not finishing before 2040. That's why I'm also doing more time skips now, because we have so much stuff still to do. Now we're going to take the institutes to a certain degree probably, but we need the manufacturing complex and the command post or command center as soon as we have it available. But of course we are going to start making ring cores. Immediately got it. Nice. Manufacturing complex, here we go. Let's get it. And we are going to start with our shipyards, of course. So for example, our shipyards here at Earth are going to be upgraded. We want to have probably just an like a normal shipyard around Earth, which means 1 ring core. And at Mars we probably want to have 2 ring core shipyards. Basically both the naval yards that we have there. We're going to upgrade them. Because at least for the near future, I don't think we need a second shipyard on Earth. And we're going to build our late game fleets on Mars, basically. We can still change that later on if we really need to, but I don't think that we have enough resources to basically feed 3 ring core shipyards at the same time. We already have the problems with fissiles here, even though we got a little bit of additional mining outcome, but still we are far away from this. So we still lack orcs and such, but well, it's not really going well in this campaign, basically. Now the big question is, we want, of course, around Mercury. And there we are, Mercury. We want a ring core as well. And then get the nanofactory centers going there as well. However, how to say this? For the antimatter production, which we want to do at Mercury, we'll still need the antimatter mass production technology. So I do think we can delay until we have the first nanofactory complex finished on Mercury, or multiple ones, before we make the ring cores. Because we can't just make the ring cores in one go with the antimatter production when we have reached that point. It's not worth it right now to build these ring cores there already. So we can save these resources for the moment. Big question there is, do we want to boost research even further? I think yes, but we don't really have that many stations around Mars, for example. So we do only have 4 stations here. 2 of them are the naval yards. Actually, we are also going to make... we already did. We're going to make the other ones. So we're going to make the other ones here as well to ring cores. They are currently skunkworks, but that's fine, I guess. Actually, it should be faster from here. So just Mars, and then this one, yeah. And we also can make nanofactories here in orbit of Mars, because we can then put ring cores in the orbit here, I mean, we do have 4 additional bases here, and then we could also do stuff here in the synchronous orbit, for example. Just to make the command centers there. We don't need to do this in the Jovian system at all. I did that in most of my campaigns late game, and especially all with the mining bases and so on. But we are really lacking mission control here. So we don't really need mining on Jupiter necessarily. But yeah, we have to see how we exactly want to play this out long term. However, we have a little bit of breathing room currently, because there's only a small amount of ships on their way to Earth, which is this one, 6 ships here. This one is the assault carrier. So I'm not sure if they actually want to fight us, but we are going to see. We're going to try, of course. And that's it, basically. So it's not that much here. So we have a little bit of time to build our fleet up again. So actually we survived on Mars, and new ships are under construction there. We are also rebuilding our ships in the newest classes. So for example, we have now a missile battleship version 3. We have ships under construction, which are mostly reworkings or upgrading refits, which now have the tier 2 coil gun battery here, which is really, really good for the defense flagship. And if we look at the missile battleship, we also have the heavy coil gun battery here now. This will be nice to deal damage and go through the point defenses along with the missiles here, basically, because now the engagement range of these things is 850 kilometers now, so that's pretty decent. But hopefully this will work out. Our last ship here from our Jupiter fleet actually is going to get intercepted soon, which is also quite funny. But yeah, still not really great, to say the least here. I don't feel comfortable. Our science output is only going up slowly. So if we were to, for example, proceed here until our advice mission, we are close to 10k.
Offering counsel.
Here we are. 9.7. It's still, we are still away from this. The main reason of this is basically the fact that we lost so much cohesion. This one has to be upgraded as well. Going to take this tech here now. Yeah, but basically we are way too slow currently for my likings, and we're also getting way too beaten back here. This is a problem if you don't play the meta with the coil guns like extensively like I usually do, but I want to play it differently now. So we have to go up in unity here to boost our science output further and eventually merge the remnants of Russia in. And also we of course are building more mission control here. But yeah, it's not going that well as I want to. Yeah, not really. Super annoying, but we have to get through. Okay, here we are in June, and we are going to finish up the Wormhole project. So let's just progress until that happens. There we are. The phenomena known as wormholes entail 2 points in spacetime, connected via an instantaneous quantum tunnel, most likely propped open by matter with negative mass. Though theorized about as early as 1916, they have never been proven to exist until now. Our deep space scans indicate a localized gravitational anomaly beyond the orbit of Neptune, where there very much should not be one. Specifically, we are registering gravity flowing inwards from a point orbiting an otherwise nondescript celestial body in the Kuiper belt. Our readings appear consistent with that of a stable Alice drain hole. In other words, we believe we are looking at the first recorded instance of a traversable wormhole. So basically, on Pluto, which is not...
to the Silk Road or Panama Canal seem appropriate.
So basically, we now know what they have on Pluto, basically. The Hydra wormhole represents a fascinating opportunity. It allows nothing less than direct, immediate access between our solar system and theirs. While the research we have engaged for this project appear excited about the scientific implications, we have endeavored to keep them focused on more practical matters. While the wormhole presumably has some limitation, it is an incredibly powerful tool. Whoever holds the wormhole holds the only practical method of travel between our solar system. Entire countries on Earth have built their economies on a single naval or land passage. This wormhole is a passage between two entire star systems. The trade value it could generate is literally astronomical. Of course, at present the Hydras control the wormhole, so any potential benefit is moot. Nevertheless, we should work towards securing control over the wormhole at the earliest possible opportunity. So now we should do the choke point, but for this we need to do their purpose. I do, however, want to do the alien warship project first, because that might reduce damage from whatever we get from the aliens slightly. Also, we picked up the Applied Artificial Intelligence project, because we need that for all the Institute projects. So that's something we should do. And so we are pushing alien warships for the moment, and then we go into the other faction quest. Meanwhile, we are restructuring our fleet to the newest model with the coil guns. So basically all the time we have pop-ups with new fleets finishing, and also our ring cores are finishing. So actually I need to start building shipyards again. However, we have been slowly running out of nobles here. This is mostly due to the fact that we have pretty expensive designs here. 250 for these battleships and so on. And yeah, that's costing us now. But the Jupiter fleet, which we hopefully can construct or start constructing in the next episode, that one of course will be relatively cheap. So that's something to look forward to. We currently aim for 20 large ships on each orbit. And Earth a little bit less, because on Earth we still have escorts left. So we are aiming for 20 large scale ships here. We have currently 11 around Mars. And we have a lot of them in upgrade currently. So if we go to construction here, basically, I should stop saying basically. What we can see here is, so we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, wait a second, that's a coil ship. So we need another one. We should queue up another laser battleship here. Where are you? This one. No. Right, this one, yeah. Or maybe another missile battleship, actually. No, I think a missile battleship here with the new coil guns here is probably a good idea. So let's do another one, and then we are finished with the 20 ships we want to aim for. And then the first shipyards are actually getting freed up for the Jupiter fleet in the next episode. But we have to be conservative about our resources, of course. So I have to think about how many ships we want to make this time for our attempt at Jupiter. Definitely a little bit more than last time, because we are now using coil guns, and coil guns are only effective in Mars. So we basically, from our fleet perspective, these Jupiter coils here, version 3 already, we need quite a lot of them to have a potential coil gun screen here. Of course, these ones only have coil guns, so we need like 10 to 15 of these monitor ships alongside our flagship, a PDC ship, and so on. At least 15, I would say. But we have our own Jupiter PDC class. And yeah, need to see how we exactly want to do this here. Also, that's going to be quite busy for our shipyards, but we are going to expand on them, which I'm going to do now while we push forward. Or rather, I think the episode is getting quite long already, so maybe we should make a cut here. And in the next episode, we are going to see the battle for the assault carrier, which is going to try to land here. So yeah, I'm going to make a cut here, and I'm going to investigate our bases. The ring cores are going to finish up. Actually, we maybe should wait like a few more days here.
Offering support.
until the other ring cores are done as well, which should show up pretty soonish. I mean, when is this one finishing? 16th of June. Okay, so we have to wait a full mission phase here. Ah, because of the nanofactories probably that we have in that system. So you can just join there. But as I said, we are going to see a lot of finished up ships here now. There we go. These are the upgraded versions, which are of course quite nice. And also, meanwhile, we are still pretty boxed in with our control point cap here. We are 547. But we are still going to expand further here. This is not Athens, Khartoum, yes. So we are going to try to take over Sudan now, to integrate it here. And then we can build more MC and so on. Hopefully, at least. That's what we want to... Actually, just stay there at the shipyard for the moment. There we are. So in next mission phase, we can actually progress further here. We also made some coil guns on Earth here. Mostly for the reason to also have a little bit more PDC stuff available for defenses on Earth, basically. So, I should stop saying basically. I need another word for this. Oh, wait a second. They are going after North Korea? Funny. So, in the end, this is going to be a nuke, right? The 2.8 military tech. Yeah, there's still a one nuke, so that's... America's going to lose an army here. That's going to be quite funny to see. Come on, give me that control point. Oh, solar farm is done. That's really a favorite one. Because we need it for Mercury. Everything we do.
Our people have taken control.
There we are. And now we can get rid of them here. Bye-bye. And next mission phase, we go after Sudan. Perfect. Yeah, and our fleets are getting to strength again. And our MC is getting kept out again. But we are struggling to get over 10k here. Which is super annoying. But well, this game isn't fast. Yeah. So we need to set up at least one more. When are you going to finish? Yeah, also on 6th of June. So we are going to set up this mission phase here, which is pretty simple.
Where to?
So we're going to declare war here from the Caliphate.
On my way to the capital.
And we already
I'm here.
start to move westward here with our expansion plans.
We'll make our appeal.
And Lewis is going to continue taking these things here.
Removing our enemies. Reporting in.
While we
Ready for my mission.
more or less...
Ready.
Let's see, where do we need public campaign? Nowhere. So, do you need... Oh, yeah. In
Securing
the
our
Caliphate, we
control.
need to protect.
Acknowledged.
And Philip, what can you do? Probably also reduce unrest here.
We'll
Yeah,
turn down the heat.
necessary stuff. And... Oh, alien warship's also almost done. So we can also finish this one up in this episode. That's a nice progress. There are the Haring cores here. Perfect. So in between episodes I can calmly set up the new stuff here. And think about how it should look like with the tier 3 modules. But now, alien warships. Perhaps the most oddly reassuring aspect of our earliest sightings of the alien craft traversing our solar system is that they are operated by the same fundamental scientific principles that we had believed governed the universe. Their materials and propulsion technology were of course well beyond our capabilities, but we could at least see that these interplanetary warships were governed by Newton and Einstein and the rest same as we are. Now that we have had an up-close look at one of their ships, many ships by now, we see we have much to learn. The drives rely on a type of fusion using a hybrid of plasma containment techniques. The radiators and heat sinks are amazingly efficient in the management of waste heat. In time, our people may be able to reverse engineer some aspects of the technology for own uses. and derive ways to improve our combat capabilities against these alien craft. I really hope that we get the alien ECM project from this, because I'm not sure where it exactly is hidden. And now we go into their purpose to continue our global objectives. And we should, however, get these ones done here to then go into further tier 3 projects to get our ring hubs into shape. I'm not 100% sure if I want to make the tier 3 shipyards, but maybe on Mars, but not on Earth. But for this we also need the tier 3 generator, basically. Fusion, not fusion, but fissile. So, no, fission generator, basically. I'm not sure. It's a lot of energy and population we have to waste in this, and resources. It's just for a little bit of a time gain on constructing ships, and we are relatively tight on resources. So, that's going to be a challenge. But now, leave a like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode here.